Hey, it's your girl, Miss D, and I'm sitting here fighting with my crystal trying to get it straight, but I am not good with moving in labradorite. And I'm looking at myself, right? But it's in the opposite direction, so I'm pulling in the wrong way, right? Okay, now we got it straight. Labradorite, it allows people to see your inner self. So you may see this crystal, you may see green, someone else may see blues, because it's pretty much a part of you that you see. So, but I love my labradorite. This particular one I've had since 2002. When I started my female empowerment program for teens when I was still living up north. At the end of our workshop series, before we had the pageant, we had a brunch for the young ladies and their families and everything. And this was their gift that I had given to them to find their inner beauty and their inner self. Well, y'all heard that discussion. Again, this is your girl, Ms. D, and I'm here with Lady T, LeFinesse Queen, and our sister girl in Cali, Anana K. Amura, and this is BInfluenced live on the nexthotsingle.com. Ladies, start with you, Lady T. How are you doing?
Honestly, I'm not feeling well. This heat just hit me, and I just feel like, whoo.
Yeah,
That's why I'm keep on sipping on my gallon of water right here.
She's sipping on that water. She's hydrating herself. You know, we all need water because we all water. Sister Anana K. Anana K. I know Anana K was telling me she's having some problems with her phone today, so she'll probably be in and out with us a little bit, but we'll try to get her back on the line as soon as we can. But this is your girl D. I've been chilling this week because school is out of session. So you and I was talking. You work with your school substitute teacher. I'm a substitute teacher. So this is our first week in Atlanta, out of school, home, not knowing what to do with ourselves.
Time to put in that work for yourself.
Time to put in that work, and I know I got some plans coming up that's going to be quite lucrative. So I'm always on a mission. But like we were talking on the way here, we miss our babies.
Yeah, I miss them. They give me energy. They give me life.
Yes,
I come through stuff. They help me get through it.
Yeah,
they know. They don't even know.
They don't. I come home drained because the whole time I'm like, do this, do that, stop doing this, stop doing that, stop doing this. And I come home like, oh my God. But then when I'm not around, I'm like, oh, this is my baby. Like, I put in a special request for one of my schools. Like, they had their award ceremony. And I'm like, I have to be at that particular school on this day. They're expecting, I've been with this particular class for a month and a half. And I have to be there for their award ceremony, you know. And it's so great that the staff worked it out. It really wasn't nothing. It was nothing for me to do that day. But just be there and sit around. But free day for me, but it wasn't a free day because I got to see my babies and they knew that this was pretty much it. So it was a great day. It was that day where we just love on each other, you know. So it was a good day. But today we are going to close out our series that we've had for the past 2 weeks on Rescue Moms, talking about some solutions once we get Sister Nana K back on the phone. And then we're just going to bust it up about some things that's going on in society. So you don't want to miss this because, you know, we usually have topics, and coming up in the very near future, we're going to be having our guests back on. So we'll be having some people in the studio performing, and you'll get to see some new unsigned artists and independent artists coming in. We'll have our special guests coming on talking about this and that and the other. But today we're just going to be busting up about some things that's going on, you know, in society, in Atlanta, in the world. There's a lot going on, and some is quite controversial. And we love controversy. So, but right now we're going to just play y'all a little something, try to get Sister 9K back on the line, and we'll be right back with you in just a few moments. All right, it's your girl, Miss D and Lady T. We are back here. This is BInfluenced Live on the nexthotsingle.com. Okay, so I've tried vigorously to get Sister Nana K back on the phone, so hopefully she will call once she can get her reception back and we can get into dialogue with her. But in the meantime, we're just going to talk briefly about, over the past 2 weeks, we've been talking about rescue moms. We went from my personal experience of being a mother who allowed her son to get away with too much and not deal with the consequences and rewarding him for things that he should not be rewarded for. We hear all the time that people say, we don't celebrate successes as far as like graduating and getting your master's and things as much as we celebrate someone who's coming home from prison. Someone who's coming home from prison, everybody in the neighborhood comes out for the cookout. Somebody who's graduated from college, you just have the immediate family over and go out to dinner. So we talked about that situation and some things in my personal that I felt that my son should have dealt with the consequences at that time, even if that meant him being imprisoned at an early age. And that is not something that we want, but not necessarily the solution. But when we're in that moment, we're at a loss and we don't know what to do, and we say, okay, we found a way out of this where you don't have to deal with any consequences. What are we actually teaching our child? And it even goes back a little further than that. What are you teaching your child when they do something like steal a bike from the neighborhood and you know you didn't buy the bike, but you know they're riding the bike and you don't deal with it? So, and this all stemmed from a letter that I'll be posting since we're finishing this series up. I'll be posting on our BInfluenced Live IG page and on our Facebook pages that you can read that an inmate who was on death row, his last request was to write a letter to his mother on the things that she had let him get away with as a child, because he did not have to deal with consequences.
So, I sit on the side where I just don't feel like it's the mom, complete blame. And you sit on the side where you feel like mom definitely should share the blame.
To take more responsibility.
And so when we talk about solutions, I feel like solutions to preventing yourself from becoming a rescue mom is to nip things in the bud from the beginning. So if you notice that your child is acting out or behaving like they shouldn't be, try to find them a mentor or get them into mentorship programs, or get them more involved in sports, and maybe not physical contact sports, but maybe soccer or maybe swimming or something where they're not. A lot of people say boxing helps with your aggression, but I feel like in your mind that just triggers you to think more contact is okay. Right. So I think sports, no contact sports like swimming and stuff like that should be.
It was funny. I was talking to, I can't remember who I was talking to, right? And I was talking about my grandson. My grandson is playing football now. And the boy got legs on him. He this high, because he's short like his mama, who's my daughter, and his papa. But he's only this high. But the boy got legs on him. So I'm like, okay, this is the next one in the family that's going to be in the pros. And someone said, well, oh, I know who it was. It was our Yolanda Roberts, who is our COO for BInfluenced. And we were talking about contact sports, but the dangers of football and things that you have to deal with now. And she said baseball. I said, I hate baseball. I grew up. My father is in the softball Hall of Fame. I hate baseball.
Baseball is the #1 American pastime. That's where it's no contact sport, but they're making the most money.
They're making the
most money. And they're not out here injuring and hurting themselves. And guess who dominates that sport? Not us.
Right.
We dominate the sport where it's so much contact. They want us to be aggressive.
Exactly.
So we dominate the boxing and the football because those are sports that build more aggression inside of you.
Build aggression, and then when you see the post on Facebook where they compare us to the slave trade and them weighing in boxers and for sports and things like that, they are the sports where they see us as animals because that the aggression, especially boxing.
Those are animalistic sports.
Boxing was a pastime for slave owners to watch the black slaves. You're strongest against my strongest, and we bet on who's going to kill one another. you know. So yeah, it is. We have to come up with some other things. I remember, well, I have a niece that just graduated from college. Um, I believe she received her master's from college. So believe it or not, I have a nephew that's like 44. So, you know, I have great nieces and stuff that are graduating from college and things of that nature. And she played piano. Um, she had been doing piano lessons since she was very small. We had the conversation about her piano teacher just had affinity with her, and she had took her traveling to the Philippines and all these different
Things
destinations.
like that open your eyes to a whole new, world.
Yeah, it's a whole new world. And so we look at, for our sons and our daughters getting different types of sports. But there are so many other things. I'm so glad we have coding out there. My daughter's danced for years.
Horseback riding.
Horseback riding.
Like, there's so many other things that tennis, that our people don't, they want us to dominate those aggressive sports. And I just don't feel like we should push our children to do stuff like that. People want their children to be the next football star, the next basketball star. It's like, okay, there's so many other things that actually, if your goal is to get your child a scholarship, you can get way greater just for your child being a minority playing these sports that aren't typical.
Lacrosse.
My
youngest daughter, my oldest daughter. Well, back to piano real quick, because I do want to mention piano. You don't know what your child has a passion for. You have to kind of spread around these different things that they have a passion for. But with piano, it works on the dexterity in their hands, and it's also good for math skills. When my nephew told me that it's very good for math skills and a child's dexterity, I was like, wow. So I try to encourage my oldest daughter to get my granddaughter in the piano. She's like, Mom, when you pay for it, then she can have all the piano lessons she wants. But I still don't have time to be driving her from this part of Jersey to that part of Jersey. But I still would love to get her into piano.
That would be dope. And I think you could probably get them for like, I remember one time I looked into it for my brother a long time ago, and it probably was like $35, $20 to,
Gymnastics is also another one. I really want my granddaughter in gymnastics. But it's funny because every sport anything that you do consistently is going to have some effect on your body. But gymnastics, I remember I had a gymnast that used to come to my office when I was still working in the medical field. And I was showing her a video of my granddaughter. At the time, my granddaughter was like 4. And you know how you have the monkey bars that you're on, right? And she was swinging from one to the other, from one to the other. And I said, I really want to get her into gymnastics. She said, gymnastics would be perfect for her because she has upper body strength. Most people don't have upper body strength, especially at that age, to swing from one monkey bar to the other. She said, but most gymnasts dislocate the shoulder to break the elbows. She said that's a common injury. So when you have dance, most dancers, their toes, their ankles, my oldest daughter, she danced from the time she was 14. And I think she got a little discouraged because we were preparing for, her dance school was preparing for their recital, in the year recital that June. And she had to come out and do a spin. And she came out, she did the spin, and she fell straight on her tailbone. When I tell you she was a champ with that, because one thing that I had to raise my children, if you start something, you have to finish it. If you don't like it, I don't have a problem with you not liking it, but you have other people depending on you. So if you start and finish it, you don't have to go back when it's over. And that was, the recital was from Friday night through that Sunday. They would have one recital that Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. She performed in all of them with her tailbone hurting right now.
Wow. Just like in theater, I had a twisted ankle one time. I was living in New York, and I had a show off Broadway, and I twisted my ankle in that New York snow, that ice, and I was so like, I could not just lay in bed. Like, I need to go to rehearsal. I need to perform this show, and I still went with that messed up toe and ankle and everything. Like, But when you have a passion for something, sometimes you know what I'm saying. But that goes to show you know, even with these sports, even living your passion, things may happen with your body, but things can happen while you're walking down the street. So I mean,
That's
might as well be
I,
happy living a passion.
I say that when people say, "How do you love to fly so much?" I love to fly. I would be on an airplane every 2 weeks if you allow me to. If the universe will open it up, it's how do you fly? You know, this air. It was an airline incident some time ago, and they're like, "Oh, I'll never fly them again." I said, "Do you really know how many planes fly? You're only in the United States in your immediate area. You're thinking about those planes. Planes are in the air globally
All the time.
all the time."
Like I said, even when I'm just sitting, because I stay not too far from the airport, so even when I'm sitting outside of my house, I see them just taking off every like 5 minutes. Not even every 5 minutes, like every 2 minutes of waiting. You see one over here and one over there. So it's like,
And you see them standing in line, but standing. You see them hovering in line, waiting to go. You know, my nephew laughed at me. He said, I do. You look at those planes like you just want to jump in the sky. I'm like, I do. I'm just ready to go. You know, I said, but there are less airline tragedies or accidents than there are car accidents. You get a car every day, and every day there's multiple car accidents. You know, so when it's your time, it's your time. You know what I'm saying? But we do have to get our children and others. I think we need more male school teachers. I think social media is showing us more male school teachers, but we need more male school teachers. We need more male
that's the
mentors.
solution, and that's the solution for you know, the comparison. So recently we had a discussion on Facebook about how the school that I went to was influencing. Basically, it was a toxic environment, and so we got on the topic of how there needs to be more mentors and stuff like that in the schools, but also just comparison and social media. Like these days, kids, school environments are so toxic because the school that they were talking about, in particular my old high school, we went to school with a lot of rich kids, and then there were a lot of underprivileged kids. I'm talking about kids that were rich, like can't start their cars in the classroom, super rich. And when people are comparing themselves to those rich kids and looking at what they don't have, that creates a toxic environment, but within themselves. So definitely more mentorship and just, you know, showing kids that they can go after everything they desire.
Absolutely. We're gonna take a little break. I'm gonna try once again see if I can get Sister Nana K back on the phone because she's supposed to come back, give us a general reading. But if not, we'll talk a little bit about something. Cause I got something I want to talk about that Sister Nana K turned me on to. But we're gonna try to get her back on the line. All right. So you listen to this. We'll be right back with the Influence Live. I should know like I should myself. Can't get no food, can't get myself. Got to do mention, down from condo. Got to do pay back, one fuck on travel. Yeah, better ones that I gotta do. I'm never boss, but I'm not new. I know I said top 5, but I'm top 2, but I'm not 2. And I got one, thought you had one, but it's not one. And Urban is late. Ice do me. Cut on my wrist, I got to let know permanent is. They're only going. Wait for the kicker. Bury me now, I only get bigger, that's one of my niggas. All right, all right, all right. It's your girl, Ms. Z, and we are back. I know you can't see us, but we here. We ain't go too far. We right here. It's your girl, Ms. Z, and Lady T, LeFinesse Queen, on BInfluenced Live on the nexthotsingle.com. And we still couldn't get Sister Nanaki on the phone, so we just going to go into what we're going to go into at this moment. All right? And so, Netflix.
Netflix is releasing a lot. They went up on their prices. They also said that they're going to help fight the abortion bill in Atlanta. So they're going to put some money behind it. You know they have a huge studio here.
Okay. Here in Atlanta. Oh, we got to make our way. Oh, I know what we said we could talk about, but I do need to bring this in. I do need to bring this in very quickly. Since we were talking about rescue moms, prison, and all those topics there. Ben and Jerry's, I know it's not a black-owned company. I'm totally aware of that, so you guys don't have to come back and tell me it's not black-owned. But Ben and Jerry's, they do have this campaign that they're working on to keep children out of prison. And I would suggest that you all look into what Ben and Jerry's is doing, what Meek Mills is doing in the what's his name, Jeff, whatever, for the 76ers. But Ben and Jerry's, they do have a campaign going on to keep children out of prison. They don't believe.
In what ways? What are they doing?
Prison is not for children, as far as they're concerned. Prison is not the place for children. We should not be raising children in a society where they go from school to prison. So they're trying to work on stopping that pipeline to prison cycle. And I would say
have
go
like
to
mentorship programs?
I can't say exactly. I would say go to their website and do some more research on it. It's one of those things. I did look into it. I looked into some a few weeks ago. As far as what they're doing, but they're just part of this campaign to fight government and the whole cycle of imprisonment for youth. We have to come up with other solutions. I cannot define and exactly say what other solutions they're coming up with, but to look into
have some type of program.
they don't necessarily have a program, but they are behind the bills in the fight against children going to prison. Okay. So we can look at that. Of course, like I said, Meek Mills and owner of 76ers and all those dollars that's following his movement in regards to that, the injustice in the prison system campaigns that they have going on. So we have to come up with other solutions, and I go into an array of other solutions. Lady keep going to an array of other solutions, and as time goes on, and as we grow, those are things that we're going to work in. I'm not going to share with you now some of the things that BInfluenced has lined up for that, but we will be going to that. But back to where we were. Netflix, May 31st. And this ties into especially our black males being imprisoned and injustices, and you're 45 as well. May 31st, when they see us, I would definitely suggest that you all tune in May 31st and watch this film by Ava DuVernay. May 31st is tomorrow. Oh, Lord, I'm off date. I don't know why I thought it was this weekend.
Wait, there's not a May 31st. Tomorrow's June. Oh, no, yeah, May 31st.
May 31st is when it airs. When They See Us, directed by Ava DuVernay, it's a story of the Central Park Five. Now, some of y'all may be a little young to know about the Central Park Five, so we're going to bring you a little up to speed on that, okay? And you're 45 at the time when he was just Mr. Trump Towers and a big name in New York, you know, $1 million mogul and all that, or whatever going on. You know, he took out a whole statement in a newspaper in New York about these five.
I think it was like maybe $85,000 spent on press to
write the story.
Yeah,
we'll have the story published.
To have the story published about, accusing
These
the
five
young
young black teen males of these murders and crimes that was taking part in Central Park in New York. I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Yusef Salam last year at an event that I was at for Ona Brown. Ona Brown is the daughter of Les Brown, the phenomenal motivational speaker. We did a birthday party for her that we was invited to. The cover of BInfluenced was because we had met her at a previous event, and I had the honor of meeting him. And at the time, he couldn't really speak a lot about the film because it was in production. But I did speak with him in detail. Awesome man, and it is so great to see that he was a young man that dealt with this injustice and was in prison, but his spirit wasn't broken. He has a family, he has children.
So he was one of the Central Park Five.
He was one of the Central Park Five, Dr. Yusef Salam. And I actually have a post on our BInfluenced live page in regards to that. But me being a part of that era and seeing what was taking place, but being still young, not understanding the actual what was really happening, to these young men from your point of view. And when you look at it now, what do you see? What do you know? What have you heard?
I see something that continues to happen. And the last thing that we've heard like this happen, our men are so often wrongly accused of a lie. Even when we think about genocide, where are they now? How were they affected? About the same thing. So it's just really painful to know that a lot of people are sitting in prisons and sitting in jails who are wrongfully accused. Because when we talk about the rescue miles, we're talking about children who you saw that they have behavior issues. But when it's somebody who has a clean record and they're completely innocent and they're accused of these things, it's just painful to see that they have to endure that type of injustice.
It is.
Injustice is what it is. And I can't really understand why would Trump put so much money behind that. Like, there's so many other things happening in the world. Why did he concentrate focus onto that in particular? What was it about that case that he felt that he needed to add thousands and thousands of dollars to?
And that's very interesting. And I'm hoping that they be able to touch on that in the film, because we still haven't had an answer to why he needed to take out a full page article in regards to prosecuting these 5 young black men for these hideous crimes that was taking place in Central Park against these women and these rapes and things. And these young men spent years in prison for a crime they never committed. 5 young black males spending years in prison for a crime they.
How much time did they? So did they
I don't
eventually get exonerated, or?
I really can't say. I can't recall how long they spent in prison. I can say that everyone can go and follow. I have 4 of the 5 on our page. So you have Corey, Antron, and it's Antron, Raymond, Yusef, and Kevin. And if you want to follow them, get their story, you can always go to @WhenTheySeeUs. Like I said, it's airing tomorrow, May 31st on Netflix. You have to watch the story. This is a story that this could have been your son, your nephew, your brother, someone that you knew was innocent. And the heartbreak of going through someone that gets a lengthy sentence and that's impersonated, even when you know they're wrong, is heartbreaking. For someone who you know is innocent, it has to be more even heart-wrenching than anything you can imagine. So you have Corey King Wise, @Corey King Wise, @Dr. Dr. @Dr.Yusef Salam, @Kevin Richard 77, and I'm sorry, 3 of the 5, and When They See Us, and of course Ava DuVernay, who is the director of the film. I just can imagine. I remember last year when I was at the other radio station with those co-hosts. We talked a lot about John Bunn. John Bunn had just been exonerated and released from prison for a crime, I believe, oh my gosh, I want to say 17 years may be correct or incorrect. Don't quote me on a number of years, but John Bunn, out of New York, he had just been released from prison for a crime that he did not commit, that he had been given life for. And he's doing a lot of work and speaking in a lot of different cities and things about his experiences. And just to come back from something like that and be able to have the energy and the drive, because me personally, I would be, I don't know. But
that
when I think about it, I feel like we're so broken.
Experience.
Right, so broken. And even with these young men, for me, just knowing when we're dealing with spirituality and things that's embedded in our subconscious and we live on the surface, I still wonder if these people, these men, are really healed. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta, for me, the things that go on in prison and just, I don't know, it just feels like so many years, such an attachment, and so many things going on that we try to deal with stuff. We try to deal with stuff with our everyday lives. To be able to bounce back from that, you know, are we dealing with the root of the issue?
Because some people, just like Khalif Browder, did not bounce back from that. Wrongfully in prison.
I still won't watch that. I
can't watch that either.
I can't. And I appreciate Jay-Z bringing it to the forefront so people can really see our stories and what's going on with our sons and our black men and those that are in prison falsely accused and everything. But I can't watch it. I just can't.
Let the people who don't know the story educate themselves. But if you know the story, you don't need to, live in that grief.
Yeah. And there's a lot of it going on. Every story doesn't make it to mainstream media. And normally with BInfluenced Live, we don't deal with the negative issues in our society. We try to deal with the positive so that we can walk in alignment with the positive that's going on in our society instead of focusing on the negative.
So when they see us, it's May 31st. So
May 31st.
Positivity. Thank you to Spike Lee for bringing She's Gotta Have It. Season 2 is back on.
But I was on it today and I couldn't get to season 2. I
haven't seen it yet, but a lot of people told me that they saw it, so I haven't watched it yet. But I love season 1. I heard that season 2 was even better because season 1, a lot of people said was like it's too artsy or it was out there. Yeah, that's Spike's style. His style is to educate you via art. Like he'll have certain paintings or he'll have certain poems or certain music that you're not familiar with to kind of enlighten you that'll help drive the story. So that's his style. So I'm interested to see how that style was kind of, I guess.
I'm gonna have to look up the actual name of it, and I'll try to do it now. Spike Lee has a new film on Netflix now.
He produced it,
right? And I watched that today, and it was what you would consider a Spike Lee classic with the two young people doing
the magic and stuff.
They were doing time travel. They were doing time travel. The ending for me was a classic Spike Lee ending because then you have to think about it.
Yeah, now you have to think what's going to happen. Is it going to work? Is there going to be a sequel?
And I really like
the way it ended. A lot of people said they didn't, but I enjoyed
the way it ended because it made you think. And for me, the thinking for me wasn't, is it going to be a sequel? Is it going to happen again? Is she going to make it? Is no matter how many times you go back and forth, it's still the same story.
And also the story of never giving up. She refused to give up.
She refused to give up. But and it's funny because a story like that, we all take different things from it. And for me, that's what I took. No matter how many times she goes back, it's still the same story. You know, it's still our black men against society. You know, so I would suggest it looks like a childish film. It looks like something that I can't. But you have when it comes to Spike Lee, you have to look at the meaning behind what
he didn't direct or write that film, but for him to produce it, it has to be something a project that he felt he believed in.
Right, that had a creative message to it, of course. Now, let's see what we're gonna have. So we talked about we couldn't get Anonymous on the phone. We talked about a little bit where we're going with this direction. So since we don't have Sister Anonymous on the phone, I'm sweating. Woo!
See You Yesterday is the name of the film.
See You Yesterday on Netflix. Check it out. Sister Nana K, her and I, we always speak before the show. So she wasn't going to give you guys a Cosmic Minute today, because in the Cosmic Minute, you know, most people who listen to astrology or what's going on in the universe, you want to hear about something great about your love life, or, you know, some big windfall, or something that's going on, or some type of insight that you feel is, because in this society we always want to hear something good, right? Well, it's not a whole lot of good stuff going on in the universe, and that doesn't mean bad. What it means is that when you climb a mountain, you have to go down the mountain to get up the next mountain. You can't stay at the peak because there's another mountain to climb. And that's really where we are in the universe right now, is that there may be a little turmoil going on that you have to deal with, because you got to get through that turmoil to get to the next thing.
Since she's not here, I'll give an Aries. A little bit of Aries.
Aries. Okay.
It speaks to us. So for the Aries, this is your Cosmic Minute. So it says things are starting to free up a bit in your life. You're getting a little bit more playtime. So what are you planning on doing with it? Be careful not to let this time drain away without taking advantage of it. Put together a short list of a few things you're curious about or places you like to explore. Take the steps necessary to make a commitment to getting to know more about them. Just because it's playtime doesn't mean that it doesn't need structure once in a while. So,
structure. That's the word. Huh?
Did that speak to you? Got a little playtime. Got a little free time.
Yeah, because school is out. I do have some playtime, and
so you got some structure.
Definitely some structure.
And I can say yesterday I definitely sat down and went through my calendar and wrote down everything I have to do, and I'm packed up. Like for the summertime. Getting everything together. I'm ready. I'm geared up.
Me, it's structure. Because it comes here, it goes there. So it is structured. But actually, like today, I did sit down and because I have a project coming up, and I need to get that up and running. That's going to work out well for a lot of people.
Do we know anything about what's going on speaking of projects with I want to say Unfiltered?
No word on Unfiltered right now.
Okay.
Unfiltered is probably going to be a little ways down the line because we're not with that studio anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to get away with that studio. They weren't really what we thought they were going to be for us. And we'll see that. Yeah. So
stay tuned for Unfiltered for updates on that.
Yeah, and if you don't know what Unfiltered is a talk show. I don't want to say reality talk show, sitting on the couch. Lady T is one of the cast members on there. It's a team of a cast of 3 females, 3 males, and all they do is sit down and talk about sex. Unfiltered, uncut, raw. And you hear some of this chick's stories here right now. She's the Aries. I already got to tell you about the fire she got. But they talk about everything. You know, one of the funniest stories was
the Cosby sweater.
The Cosby sweater was funny. If y'all don't know what a Cosby sweater is, we're not going to tell y'all, because when a filter comes on and y'all hear what a Cosby sweater is, you're going to be like, ugh. But the sexual experience where one of the cast members had put his hand down there because he didn't understand why it was so moist. And he came up with a handful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. So that's Unfiltered. Let's talk about sex, and it was a good topic, because most people, most parents, you don't really have that sexual conversation. And this wasn't a raunchy, raw, dirty show. It was conversation about things that happen in everybody's sexual experience. Either you're too embarrassed to talk about it, or you think you know enough that you don't want to talk about it, but you talk about it. You know, and they talk about what goes on with sexual relationships, things that we've all experienced, but we just don't want to say anything about. So they play some games and stuff. It was really fun. I enjoyed the production of it. So, I want to say, I don't want to give a date on it, but it's definitely going to be something that we're going to bring to the forefront. We're just not bringing to the forefront with the original studio and network that we were working with. They weren't like who we thought they were. So, but this is Atlanta, and you run into a whole lot of that in Atlanta. So, for all of y'all that want to come here and be one of the millions and billions that's in here taking up our highway space, be careful when you get here because everything ain't what it's supposed to be. Trust me. So, for sure. So, on the topic Netflix, I brought this up to Lady T. And Sister Nana K is not here to back me up right now, but talk about Netflix. Sister Nana K got me hooked on this show that another sister got her hooked on called Lucifer. And if you haven't seen Lucifer, I'm telling you, you have to watch.
Just like I refuse to watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I definitely will not be watching Lucifer.
But it's another witch show on there too. I think it's called Always a Witch. The black lady is a witch, and I just started watching that today. But Lucifer, when she told me, you gotta watch Lucifer, I said, no, I seen the picture for the trailer. I don't like horror flicks. She said, no, you have to watch it. She said, I'm telling you, you have to watch it. I turned somebody else on it, and they keep calling me every day. Talking about, how did you get me hooked on this stupid show? I'm like, you can't stop watching it because
why are you hooked on the show? That's what I'm
because it's quirky.
So it's a comedy?
It's funny. It is a crime show. It's a crime series, but Lucifer has left hell and he's on earth. And he is meeting with a psychiatrist because he's trying to understand and define himself. He has daddy issues. He has daddy issues because his daddy put him out of heaven and placed him in hell. And people don't understand him because they think that he causes us to do bad things, and that is not his job. His daddy sent him to hell to run hell, not to cause us to do bad things.
So it seems like it's a show where they're normalizing the devil, and I'm not here for it.
Yeah, but when you really
I'm not here to make the devil humanistic. When you
watch it and you put it together, there is a whole lot of truth in it. There's a whole lot of truth in it. There is a whole lot of truth in it. It really is. And you have his brother Aminadel, who is Amun Ra, actually. Aminadel, where you get Amen or Amen from. He's the first and strongest angel. Aminadel was there. And then you have some of the other angels come there. But when you watch it and you really listen to it and you really, you understanding the biblical part of it, you realize the truth that's in it. Because my Gigi at home would say it all the time. The devil was an angel first. He knows the Bible just as well as your Christ or God does. Because he was an angel first. He got cast out. Me and my brother, who is really biblical, had the conversation.
Cast out of hell ain't nothing good about you.
Oh, that's what I was into. Me and my brother had a deep conversation. I'm not really going to go into it because I'm not a biblical person, even though when I was in Islam, we had to read it 7 times. I read it 2.5. But that was 23 years ago when I did that. But me and my brother, he's real biblical. We just spoke about it in regards to, oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Devil and
spoke about the prayer you have to read.
I know, but I forgot what me and my brother I forgot where I was going with me and my brother to talk about religion so often in so many different aspects.
You were saying it has a lot of truth to it.
It does have a lot of truth to it.
I mean, the devil was in fact the angel, but in order to get cast out.
Okay, that's what he got cast out. When me and my brother talked about this, he did not do when we think of the devil, we think of curses and demons and him causing us to do bad things. He doesn't cause us to do bad things. He punishes us for what we do. We do what we do on our own free will. He is not the one And they say temptation. Temptation is already, and it's the one thing that emphasizes our desires. He will question our desires, pull out our desires for us to attain and do our desires, but they're already our desires. So when me and my brother had talked about this conversation, basically, to sum it up, and I'm paraphrasing for y'all biblical scholars that want to challenge me on that, you're not going to change my mind. He challenged his father in Christ on humans and giving them free will. And in giving them free will, what would they do with it? Maybe you should reevaluate. And I'm paraphrasing me and my brother's conversation. Maybe you should reevaluate this free will thing. And because of his questioning and his deception, and asked him to test them on their free will, is when he got put out. So,
Yep, still not interested in watching the show.
she said she's still not interested.
Nope.
I loved it, every bit of it, because human nature is human nature. And angels and spirits, and I loved it.
That's just like that show on Hulu. I can't even finish watching that because there's something about shows that don't rub my spirit. And just because I have personally dealt with people in my family who have allowed things to enter their spirit and influence them to do wrong. Yeah, we have free will, but there are a lot of influences in the world, so you have to be strong enough to combat those. But I'm not willing to allow anything in my spirit that's not of good, not of life. Not of life, I'm not interested.
Lucifer is the angel of light.
Yeah, I thought he was the angel of music.
No, he is a
airways.
He's a musician. He's an awesome musician, but he is the angel of light. Yeah.
That's I was doing research on that.
Yeah, he's the angel of light. And it when you're dealing with spirits and demons and all of that, you have to deal with the individual person because we're all brought with something else. And it's a lot.
I've seen people filled with good that have been influenced because they allowed something to overcome their spirit for too long. So
I understand your story, and I won't because I know your story. So I won't take it any further because I know your story already. I know your story already. But I know it's very individual. But I would still say, check it out. Because it's funny, but it has a lot of messages, especially if you know the Bible and you know the stories. She said, don't
check it out.
If you know the Bible and you know the stories, then you will understand a lot of what's going on that is in that story. And what's going on there with what's going on. And it's funny. But you have to know, you have to kind of know the Bible to know what's going on with the story. I find it very, very interesting because it is a society that we live in, and it has so much to do with free will. It really does have so much to do with it because we're both yin and yang. So every religion that you go in, you have a balance of good and bad. So, and it's our yin and yang. And I remember me and my brother having a conversation on the Christ and the Lucifer thing, if they're one and the same angel. Because in every religion, you have that same strength pull, where you have the stronger of the evil and the stronger of your light or your will, that good and bad. Every religion has that, and we're all built with that inside of us. We have one or the other. It just depends on which way that you're drawn and what your will takes you to, basically. So I thought we were going to have a little something coming in because my throat is getting a little parched right now. But I think we have to keep talking because I need to clear my throat. So there we go. We got a little something coming in. And this is your girl, Miss D. And and Lady T LeFinesse. We just be influenced live on the nexthotsingle.com. I need to start. I'm sorry. I gotta get my truck. Ooh, and I gotta go to bed.
I was riding around in the B12 with the racks in the middle. Had a friend almighty God, they let my dog out and kill him. When you get it straight up by the hood, you can't imagine this shit. I've been pulling up in the drop top with the baddest bitches. Young nigga been focused on my chick. Got a little coupe wrapped around my neck. Trying to put the water on my potato. I got killers to the left of me. We was lurking on her. They showed no mercy on her. We was going back to back. Put a curfew on her. With dark clouds on us. That was perfect for us. You know, you always crash and burn, but it was working for us. Now I said the B12, double check the details. I cross my teeth and down my eyes where I can't sleep well. Business off from retail. Once again, I pre-bill. The rap shit was over from the day I dropped my freestyle. Hold up, let the beat build. See me in the street still. I've been fighting battles up a steep hill. And my road dog 12, it was a sweet deal. And I've been riding solo trying to rebuild. I was riding around in the B12 with the racks in the middle. Had a friend almighty God, they let my dog out and kill him. When you get it straight up by the hood, you can't imagine this shit. I've been pulling up in the drop house with the baddest bitch. Young nigga been focused on my chick. Got a little coupe wrapped around my neck. Trying to put the water on my potato. I got killers to the left of me. Under no condition, would you ever catch me slipping? Motorcade shooters plus the Maybach chauffeur driven. They catch me with it, don't send me off to prison. Judge ain't sympathizing, court don't show forgiveness. Isn't in the limbo, trying out the music. Sip Dior with the flowers, 5 gold Cubans. Champagne while I'm stopped up, I splurge foolish. Those extra places, smoke, both commercial units. Damn, I wish my nigga Fast was here. He died 30-something after banging all the years. Grammy nominated, in the sun of shedding tears. All this money cloud fame, but I can't make you reappear. But I'll wake them know. We just embrace the only life we know. If it was me, I'd tell you, nigga, live your life and grow. I tell you, finish what we started, reach the heights, you know. Gas the B12 to the pipe and smoke. I was riding around in the B12 with the racks in the middle. Had a friend almighty God, they let my dog out and kill him. When you get it straight up by the hood, you can't imagine this shit. I've been pulling up in the drop top with the baddest bitch. Young nigga been focused on my chick. Got a little coupe wrapped around my neck. Trying to put the water on my potato. I got killers to the left of me. Another $1 million bill, that's just some regular shit. See my granny on the jet, some shit I'll never forget. Next day we flew to Vegas with my Puma Connects. Break bread, land unity says. Leave music at best. Enterprise, take no good steps. Cold game, but I know it was chess. As a youth in the state, learn the game, you a student at best. But it's a couple bags you can expect. Just like money, no money, niggas shooters respect. Other shooters, we was both on my crew on your neck. I'm on the freeway in the drop, they got me losing my breath. I know the dash with the blues on the deck.
Yo, it's your girl, Lady T, and this is your girl, Lady T, and Lady T, the LeFinesse Queen, and we are here on BInfluenced Live on the next hot single dot com. So, now that we are back, we are going to head into one of our topics of discussion, our random conversation today, and one of those conversations is about a bill. And again, I was hoping Sister 90K was on the phone with us, and she is in California, about a bill that was passed in California in regards to vaccines. And there's been a number of protests in California at the state houses or the state buildings in regards to these protests. In regards to this bill. And it's State Bill 276. Regarding vaccines. These vaccines, Bill, while she's looking it up, SB Bill 276, is determine which children get vaccines and what children do not get vaccines. I have been anti-vaccine for, let's just say, since about 91. Well, I had my second child at 91. So 89, 90, I've been anti-vaccine. I'm always going to be anti-vaccine. I've had debates on social media with people about vaccines, and I stand my ground. I'm not going to change my mind. I'm just one of those people that when I believe what I believe, I will take your points into consideration. And you may have some valid points for some things, but I'm anti-vaccine.
I'm anti-vaccine. I get into it a lot with a lot of different people about it. Like I even just posted something in a travel group that I'm in asking, is it mandatory to get certain vaccines? And I had people on that post going crazy. Some people like, these are the people who spread viruses, spread diseases, and these are the people. But where I come from, my standpoint on vaccines and being anti-vaccines is because of a lot of things that have occurred in this country that we live in. So one of the things is that studies do show, research has shown and proven that the MMR shot, which is the measles, mumps, rubella shot, is the shot that affects Black boys with autism and behavioral or behavioral problems. Now, with this,
No, I was just showing you what it was.
Okay. So, and then also, it's interesting that we're talking about vaccines when the same people that create these vaccines, the CDC, have also been the same people to give hundreds of Black men syphilis. And that's just now being recognized 35 years later. A lot of people are still suffering the consequences of what the CDC did when they told a lot of Black men that in Tuskegee that they had bad blood, that they would help them. And so in telling someone they have bad blood and I'm going to help you, instead you shoot them up with the virus so that you can figure out, so you can research and test on them without their knowledge. And they did this for over 40 years. So, and some of those, the consequences that we face today is that how can we trust these same people who did this to, you know, people's fathers and brothers, granddads, under a lie? How can we trust that same entity to then provide health and tell us what's right for our children? Tell us, okay, they have to get measles, mumps, rubella shot. It's interesting that this is the shot that affects Black boys, and it's interesting that measles is all of a sudden making an outbreak. Where the hell is measles coming from all of a sudden? All of a sudden, now that the research is coming out that this MMR shot affects Black boys, now we have an outbreak of it, really? When the CDC, the government, the U.S. government has patents on some of these diseases. To have a patent on something means that you invented it, you created it, and you hold it. You. This is your possession. This is this virus belongs to you, and you're holding it in your labs or whatever. So I'm sure they can just, you know, let it loose whenever they feel need be. Oh, we want to prove to these Black people that, you know, they don't.
And I have a lot of things in my notes, and I wish I had this readily available, but we kind of decided the last minute what we were going to talk about today, because we were kind of done with the rescue mom conversation, even though this is what our plan was. So we decided we were going to go into these two topics that we had researched just like an hour and a half before we decided to go on air. And but when we look at vaccines and vaccine history, you're talking about a child my age, back in the 60s, where, and I'm using hypothetical numbers, okay, because I don't have my information readily in front of me. So we use hypothetical numbers, all right? So you're looking at a child like me that may have had 6 cocktails in the 60s in their vaccine. And you're looking at
Now
a
there's
child,
like maybe
50, right? And you're looking at a child like my son, who's 30, 21 years. I'm 21 years a senior, who had maybe 17 or 20 cocktails. Now we're looking at children today, they have like 50 cocktails.
And it's all systematic, if you ask me. It's systematic. It starts in the hospitals. They want to oppress our people. So it starts in the hospitals, and then then to the schools. They have boys, like just like this shot affects, I'm working with these children, and I see the difference with the young Black boys, 2 years old, 3 years old, 5 years old, versus these little white boys or these girls, no matter what their race, you can see that something has affected them. There's no way that you cannot tell me when I'm seeing 5 boys in one classroom, 5 black boys in one classroom, all with either autism or behavioral problems or ADHD, and I go to another class and like there's no way you can tell me that these shots are something isn't triggering them.
I wasn't at my school that I'm normally at the last week of school. I was there just the one day for their award ceremony. And then I had to finish the week up at another school. And I'm telling you, oh my goodness, if this had been when I was raising my children, I would have yoked this little boy up and shook everything out of him. This kid just all in my room. I'm like, I'll just say Jay. I'll just call him Jay. Jay, sit down, calm down.
We got one in our class. We call him Pim.
I said, come sit down.
We call that little boy Pim because all he do is Pim.
And that's what he was doing. And I literally, my scholars at my other school, I thought, because I had to tap it, and I had one that was just really disruptive, but I could bring him down. And so I'm trying to bring this scholar down, 5th grade. Come sit next to me for a while. Work on this word search. You want some colors? You want a color? What do you want to do? He said, I need a ball. I need something. And he was like, while he's moving, I have ADHD. I can't keep still. I need something to do because I'm bored and I don't know what to do. And then he would literally jump across a desk, the tabletop of a desk, and jump on it and slide, like he was flying off the moon. And I'm like, oh God. I'm like, okay, you need to go for a while. Go for a while. Because you know what? I am from that generation. We take about you wear that ass out. But you cannot wear these kids, these children. You can't wear it. It doesn't work. It really doesn't work. He's very conscious in his mind. And every time he told me, I have ADHD, I can't keep still. And that's why I keep moving. And I'm going to do this with you, and I'm going to do that. And I said, but that does not give you the right to disrupt everyone else in this classroom. So now it's time for you to go or come sit with me for a while and let us do something together. But you cannot, and sometimes I'm giving her this ball and I tell him, go stand in the corner. You can go over there to that side of the room where there's no one else. And you can take the ball, you can throw it against the wall, you can do what you want. But you do not have the right to disrupt everybody in here because you have ADHD. But then I had to reward him with things. And then I had the other one. This class, they gave me this class. I had like 4 of them in there. That was like this. The other one was about this tall in 5th grade. When he did not feel things going his way, he started kicking over chairs, going to, the teachers had shelves, their thing, just knocking stuff off the shelf. And I would just go next to him because you can't really touch him. I would rub him on his back. Come on, it's time for you to go. Let's go. Out. Go. And it, to me, I know that the vaccines, I agree. I know that the vaccines have played a huge role. I know that the foods that we are feeding our children are playing a huge role. But I also think we are giving them an excuse. Because when you can identify with your behavior, you can now use that as an excuse to do what you want to do. So when do we define and when do we draw the line that you're using this issue to get over to do what you want? And I don't think it's fair to the other 15 scholars that's in the classroom that they have to deal with this behavior. Because we can identify when you really don't have self-control.
Everybody needs different. Everybody's not the same. Everybody can make up, spirit, everything. It's not the same. So that's why they have classes like special needs classes. And not to say
they have levels of SPED though now. Like when we had the young man that was tapping, I only had the one in that particular class at the school that I was at most of the time. That one scholar, he tap. He would walk around the class and he would just start randomly disrupting other students. It wasn't a whole classroom full of them. And it's like, why do you allow him to be in this classroom constantly disrupting other students? Because he is a sped student, but not where they feel that he needs to be removed. But he disrupts the whole class. He can turn, and then when you're dealing with energy, when you have this energy in the class, so every other minute distraction that another child may have, it turns that on. You know, so I used to constantly stand next to another scholar that I knew he would disrupt because he may be sitting there and that scholar may be sitting there, and I would stand in front of them and say, "What did I tell you we want to do when we have distractions?"
All systematic.
And they would be fighting with the fact that they want to keep their eye contact with me to avoid this distraction because they know this distraction is going to come with a consequence.
It's all systematic, and it's sad because it's like, and people want to call it conspiracy, but there's so many things that are geared towards harming our people,
especially our men,
and our men.
Black males.
And and even when coming from vaccine, so okay, before we leave vaccine,
we're not leaving yet.
let's talk about what California is doing. So in California, the Senate passed a controversial bill Wednesday to tighten California's already strict school immunization law. The SB 276 by State Senate Richard Pan, D. Sacramento, passed the Senate 24-10 Republican voting against the measure. The bill comes amid the worst measles outbreak in more than 20 years, with more than 750 people diagnosed with the disease this year nationwide. Of those, 44 cases have been in California. So, California has some of the strictest laws in the country requiring childhood immunizations in order to attend public schools. Since 2015 law, the Senate has allowed for exemptions from required shots only if a doctor says there is a medical reason to skip some or all of them. So religion, it has to be a medical reason. Religion is not one. Previously, parents could opt their children out of vaccinations by citing a personal or religious belief, as most states allow, but now you cannot. It says that Pan feels that doctors are increasingly excusing children from immunization for questionable reasons, such as having asthma or diabetes, prompting his proposal to allow the state's public health department to review and potentially reject existing and newly sought medical exemptions. Under the bill, the State Department of Public Health would decide whether the underlying condition cited by a doctor in a medical exemption meets guidelines set by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Medical exemptions that have already been approved will have to be submitted to the state for inclusion in the non-public database by the end of 2020. State health officials estimate that more than 40% of the 11,500 medical exemptions expected to be requested each year will be denied under the bill. So under this new bill, you may be denied. Some vaccine skeptical parents have intensely opposed the bill, saying their children have adverse reactions to vaccines that were deemed not severe enough to warrant a medical exemption under this bill. So hundreds of parents are in the uproar about this. Let's see.
We definitely this wasn't our original plan to talk about vaccines. Because when we talk about vaccines, we're going to be on this for a little bit because
it says this bill is unprecedented. This is key. And dangerous intrusion. This is an intrusion because now the government is a doctor and patient relationship is not supposed to be intruded by the U.S. government. Anybody. That's HIPAA law. But it says not only into the doctor-patient relationship, but also the personal liberties of the parent and their children. With all due respect to my colleague, I support what he's trying to do. I just don't think SB 276 is the right tool. And that was Senate Jeff Stone said that.
Well, it's been passed in Sacramento and 2 other areas in California. And now they're working on, I think, Dallas and Houston are trying to pass it. So, there is no exempt that you're not exempt unless your doctor says so. So, that's, I was not ready for the vaccine conversation, okay, because I have a lot to say about it. I've had Lady T has had debates. I've had debates about it. And, like one of the biggest arguments, like you said in the opening statement, well, is to protect those. If you believe in vaccines and you're vaccinated, me not having a vaccine and my children not having a vaccine does not affect you. So why are you concerned with whether or not we are vaccinated if you are, because you're protected? I don't give you vaccines. Never have, never will. Worked in the medical field, never got a flu vaccine. Last medical practice or whatever I worked within, I did not have my flu vaccine. And one of the medical directors were there, and I spoke very clearly, I'm not getting one. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. And they told me that, well, you're risking your job. Well, I'm risking my job. I'm not doing it. Guess who was the only person out of a staff maybe of 20, 21 who did not get the flu? That would be me. Thank you.
So they violating us with these, basic human right needs. Like it's not conspiracy, it's really common sense. Because we think about it, okay, you want everybody, you don't want no abortions, you want everybody to have these babies, and then you want to shoot them up with these drugs so that you can systematically cause them to have, all types of issues, and then populate the jail. It's systematic, it's common sense. It's not even conspiracy. This stuff is common sense. Use your brain to see what's really happening in our country. Because not only are they attacking the children with this, but adults are being attacked when it comes to marijuana.
Yes, and we really not gonna get into this, but we're gonna leave you with this because I can I just touch on a theory because we got about 5, Kofi, about 5. My theory in vaccines. So like I said, I go back. 89, my son was born. And that's when we were really dealing with the ADHD issues, right? Really coming on the forefront with Ritalin and all that. We talk about vaccines and them,
Ritalin was eventually ruled out, right?
Ritalin was eventually ruled out, but you still had a whole lot of other drugs that are really dangerous drugs. And I can't think of them all right now because, like I said, I wasn't prepared for our conversation that we were having today. But when I look at generations, I look at my son's generation, which those that are born between, I want to say, and this is my theory, okay, 85 to 90 maybe. That's our real strong ADHD, ADD. That's a really strong, that's when it really comes on. And those, they had children that are our ADHD babies now. But when that generation right there, that really high long-term prison rate, that recidivism thing going on, that 85 to 90, maybe 91.
During the Clinton administration.
Yes. Very
Use your
high
common
rate.
sense,
Okay.
yo. This is not.
And this is me working in the medical field, just observing things. My personal theory.
These doctors get money for pumping these vaccines into you.
Right. So then we look at, and some of it I'm not going to discuss right now because I won't be. Okay. I look at women in a certain age group. All right. And this, I looked at that particular time when I was analyzing this myself. So I have to rearrange the age to my age now. So I want to say women who are now 45. So I want to say women between maybe the ages of 40 to 46-ish now will be their age range. The rate of immunodiseases like lupus in Black women. Large range of women in that age range that have lupus. And there are other things, and some of it I really just, I don't want to talk about because it's going to cause a lot of social issues. But there are some things that I look at that are global, and I'm like, how are these things global? it has to be vaccines, it has to be water. It can't be food because some things are not regulated and other countries are not allowed in the United States, or you know, a lot of people leave the country, the United States, go to other countries, they eat very clean, they come back to the United States, they get sick. You know, so apparently it's not always the food. Can't say it's always the water because we don't have the same chemicals, but these vaccines, um, mm, you have to look at certain illnesses and when they take effect and what generations they are in, how they're on the uprise.
20 years from now, you don't want to look at your child and be like, dang, I should have never gotten that vaccine. But guess what? A lot of people are not even going to correlate it.
They're not going to correlate it, but I can tell you what one thing you can correlate with these generations now, except for my grandchildren. My grandchildren are going to be some of the old people say decrepit. And I don't even know if decrepit is a word or a definition for anything. But if you black and your grandparents said decrepit, you know what it meant. These generations now are going to become the most decrepit because their eyes are going to be worn from social media and phones. I mean, from computers and phones. Their fingers, their dexterity, and their fingers and their wrists are going to be damaged. These boys wearing their pants down their ass, they have to walk with their hips like this. You're developing a whole new species of being. You're breeding a whole new species of being. Because by the time they get my age, they're going to be so broken. Because their fingers are going to be what's just called carpal tunnel. They'll have another name by then. Carpal tunnel in their fingers and wrists. They're all going to be wearing bifocals. And their hip replacements and knees replacements from their pants being down here having to walk like this, yeah, they won't be me. I can tell you that for sure. All right? So we're going to close this out on one that's going to leave y'all questioning because, who did I say? Brother Wesley Muhammad? Y'all just give me a minute to log into this lock phone that I keep so locked. I don't know why. But that is me and that's what I do.
Do the research.
Okay.
And save your children.
So, Brother Wesley Muhammad, because I don't have my glasses on. But remember, I only got my glasses on.
All right, so we're going to leave you out with this. So, chronic marijuana use feminizes black men, but masculinizes black women. Mean serum testosterone levels were significantly higher in female marijuana users than in controls. Previous reports from our laboratory suggest that the chronic use of marijuana lowers plasma testosterone in young adult males. This apparent inconsistency is most likely attributable to differences in sites of estrogen synthesis in men and women. Almost all circulating testosterone derives from the genoids in men, whereas in women, a large fraction of testosterone production is of adrenocortical origin. Marijuana has been shown to stimulate the pituitary adrenal axis. Dr. Joanne Bowman, Masters, and Johnson Institute, St. Louis.
We bring that up, and this is the question. After all these years, why is the fight so strong to legalize marijuana? When they said marijuana turned us into animals, made us animals.
Just wanted to leave you with something to think about.
And that came from Brother Wesley Muhammad. You can follow him on IG, because I certainly do.
There's a tag, get your armor, get ready, suit up, get suited and booted.
But you don't know what you're
Stay grounded. Use your powers. They're trying to minimize your powers, so if you don't use them, you'll lose them.
Use them. And this Lady T, you can find her at
Toya M. Nelson on all platforms.
And I'm your girl, Ms. D. You can find me at the official Ms. D on IG. Misty Waters on Facebook. BInfluenced Live. BInfluenced. We're all over the place. And make sure you go to our BInfluenced page because I got some lovely pictures of these ladies up there that I need y'all to check out. But again, this is your girl, Ms. Z. We on BInfluenced Live on the nexthotsingle.com. Peace out.
Drop the mic.